Why are ship bottoms painted red? Whether it's a giant container ship leaving the port of Los Angeles or a cargo vessel crossing the Pacific Ocean, you'll notice something they almost all have in common. No matter what color the ship is painted, whether it is black, white, blue, or even yellow, the section near the waterline, and especially the bottom of the hull, is usually red. And here's the interesting part. Today, ship owners could paint the hull almost any color they want. So why does red still appear on so many ships after hundreds of years? Why not blue? Why not green? Why not some modern high-tech color? Today, on HISimpleThings, we're going to answer that question. And the answer involves an endless battle between humans and the ocean. A discovery that changed maritime history forever, and billions of dollars saved every single year. The enemy beneath the water. The moment a ship enters the water, it starts attracting unwanted passengers, such as algae, barnacles, mussels, seaweed, and countless other marine organisms. At first, they seem harmless, as they are small and easy to ignore. But over time, they build up across the bottom of the hull, and that creates a serious problem. A ship's hull is designed to move smoothly through the water. As marine growth accumulates, the surface becomes rougher and creates more drag. Imagine trying to swim while dragging a heavy blanket behind you. That's almost exactly what happens to a ship. As drag increases, the engines must work harder and burn more fuel just to maintain the same speed. Studies in the maritime industry have shown that marine growth can increase fuel consumption by more than 30%, and sometimes even more in severe cases. For massive cargo ships transporting goods across oceans every day, that can mean millions of dollars in additional fuel and maintenance costs every year. That's why keeping the bottom of a ship clean has always been one of the shipping industry's highest priorities. The discovery that changed shipping forever. To understand why ship bottom are red, we need to go back several centuries. At that time, most ships were made of wood. And marine growth wasn't the only problem sailors faced. There was something even worse: shipworms. Yes, despite the name, they aren't actually worms. They're marine creatures that can bore deep into wood, weakening the structure of an entire ship. Then, in the late 18th century, engineers discovered a surprising solution: copper. You heard that right. Copper. When copper plates were attached to the bottom of wooden ships, marine organisms had a much harder time attaching themselves. The ships stayed cleaner, moved faster, and lasted much longer. It was one of the most important breakthroughs in maritime history. But as wooden ships were gradually replaced by iron and steel ships, covering entire hulls with copper became expensive and impractical. The industry needed a better solution. The real origin of the red color. Instead of attaching solid copper plates to ships, manufacturers began mixing copper compounds directly into anti-fouling paint. One of the most common compounds was copper oxide, and copper oxide naturally has a reddish-brown color. As these paints became widely used, ship hulls started turning red. It was not because people thought it looked better. It was not because it was required by law. But it was because the most effective paint at the time happened to be red. In other words, the color came from chemistry, not design. Over time, red ship hulls became a familiar sight in ports all around the world. So why are they still red today? Now here's where things get interesting. Modern marine coatings have advanced dramatically. Today, anti-fouling paints can be made in many different colors. In theory, ship hulls could be blue, gray, black, or almost any other color. Yet red remains one of the most common choices. Why? There are two simple reasons. First, it works. The maritime industry values reliability above almost everything else. When a solution has been proven effective for generations, there's very little incentive to change it. Second, red creates a clear visual contrast with the upper part of the ship. This makes it easier for crew members, inspectors, and port officials to monitor the area near the waterline and assess the ship's loading condition. It's not the biggest reason ships are red, but it's another practical advantage that helped the color remain the industry standard. A color with more than 200 years of history, so the next time you see a ship with a red hull, you'll know it's much more than a paint choice. It's the result of centuries of maritime experience. It is a reminder of humanity's long battle against the ocean. It is a solution that helps reduce drag, save fuel, and extend the life of ships. What looks like a simple color is actually a piece of engineering history that continues to help move much of the world's cargo every single day. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join HISimpleThings for more fascinating stories hidden inside the everyday things around us.